I'm 4K Dre.
Who? Rakai. What the fuck, man?
You just said it. You said what?
Ain't good for him, good. Ain't no
God, I'm finna call you right back.
Who is she really? The one who straight up dismissed 4KT live like YoungBoy never even existed. Now, alleged clips of his people trying to take out Top are flooding every corner of the internet. But trust me, the truth runs way deeper than what's being shared online. We're talking bodies, federal heat, and a street war that's got no finish line in sight. That live stream had everyone locked in. It wasn't polished, wasn't scripted, and didn't need fancy captions to stir the streets. It was pure chaos caught in real time. Shaky camera, rushed voices, and details way too real to fake. The second it dropped on timelines, everyone who really knows what's up stopped scrolling fast. People who live by code instantly felt something off. Hold up, this don't sound like content, they said. The tone, the tension, that coded talk, it didn't feel like a joke. It felt like something went way wrong in real life. December 5th, 2025. Remember that date, because it's gonna stay burned in history forever. That's when Esty jumped on a live stream and flipped the internet inside out with just his words, that raw energy, and a kind of loyalty you can't fake. You could feel it through the screen. Real recognized real that night. Picture it now. Ben Dedon's platform lit up, Shetty fresh out the feds, and the streets watching every second like it was breaking news. Only 2 months out after doing a tough 3-year stretch in the United States Penitentiary, Canaan, on a 5-year bid, my guy was feeling himself heavy. And honestly, he earned that right. He did his time like a man, stood tall, and kept his lips sealed when plenty of others would have been out here singing like birds to the feds. That's real solid behavior right there. When the kind of pressure that breaks most people in half came for him, he didn't fold. He stayed 10 toes down. Now he was back, ready to reclaim everything the system tried to strip away.
Man, just rep anything, man. Just say you something, and then you good.
I'm 4K Dre.
Who? Rakai. What the fuck, man?
You just said it. You said what?
Ain't good for him, good. Ain't no
God, I'm finna call you right back.
The second he went live, the chat exploded. Thousands of fans pulling up just to see their boy touch the screen again. The energy? Wild. The type that makes your phone shake, the kind that only hits when somebody finally breathes that free world air after being locked away too long. But then, boom, the vibe flipped in an instant. Out of nowhere, the chat got spammed with 3 little letters that changed the whole mood. 4KT, 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 over and over again. That's NBA YoungBoy's camp right there. His day ones, his shooters, his loyal flag wavers from Louisiana to every block his music reaches. Now listen, dropping those 3 letters in that chat wasn't no harmless stunt or random emoji game. Nah, this was serious. A straight up test. Someone was checking to see what Esty was really about now that he was free again, if he still had that same energy, if he was gonna stand firm or back down. Because out here, words don't just fly in the air, they carry weight, and the wrong one can get you touched for real. And when it came to his response, man, dude acted like he never even heard of 4KT in his life. He just kept saying over and over, like YoungBoy's entire movement. The millions of fans, the platinum plaques, and the street rep didn't even exist to him. Like all that noise was invisible in his world. The chat went wild instantly, but trust, it was only the calm before the real smoke started rising. That's when the streamer, aka the main host, decided to jump on the call, and what happened next had the internet frozen for weeks. People still replay that clip frame by frame, trying to figure out what really went down. See, Shetty had been locked in on that stream from the jump, doing one thing without fail, hyping up Lil Durk, standing behind him like a soldier, and making it crystal clear that his loyalty to Smirk was carved in stone.
You got him and Quando, and a lot of with Durk. So a lot of ain't gonna with YoungBoy because they with Durk. I feel like can't no who say they no street be in the middle.
Nobody could question it, and nobody could break it. At one point, he even snapped at a female fan just for saying she didn't mess with Lil Durk. He straight up threatened her, telling her to take your picture before you get beat up. That wasn't for clout, wasn't for clicks. This was raw emotion, that deep loyalty that runs through your veins, the kind that screams blood in, blood out. So when Rahi suddenly hopped on that live call and dropped the line saying he was 4KT right after Shetty had spent hours clowning and disrespecting YoungBoy's whole crew, the temperature in that virtual room plummeted. You could feel it through the screen. The laughter stopped. The energy flipped cold, and everyone watching knew something real was about to go down. That clip spread like wildfire across every corner of the internet. Twitter, or X, whatever people call it now, blew up instantly. Instagram reels were popping up by the hundreds, and TikTok creators were racing each other just to be the first to break down every second of that intense exchange. The hip-hop side of the web found a brand new obsession, and once they locked in, they did not let go. But here's what most people missed in all that noise. The chaos, the memes, the hot takes. That viral moment didn't come out of nowhere. Nah, this was years in the making, built from deep tension, fallen homies, and betrayals stacking up since way back in November 2020. And Rahi, whether he realized it or not, had just stepped dead into the crosshairs of one of the most dangerous beefs hip-hop's ever seen. The smoke came for him fast. No warning, no chill. King Von's sister, Kayla B, jumped online and publicly called Rahi out for being disrespectful, saying his comments were insensitive and dishonored Von's memory. She made it clear that stuff like that only adds more heat to already burning drama. And when Kayla B speaks about anything tied to her brother, the internet listens.
The new me, for people who may not know, is like the new and improved, the more clean version, and like the more focused Pooh Shiesty. Clearer vision, I can see clearer now. Like, I got it, it's my second run. Like a second chance, for real.
See, Von ain't just another name in this whole story. He's the reason it's even this serious today. His death back in November 2020 flipped what started as some simple online tension into a full-blown war that's still raging years later. That loss turned pain into conflict, and lines got drawn that nobody's been able to erase. So now, with Rahi caught up in it, suddenly the internet crowned him public enemy #1 to OTF's massive fan base and their affiliates. The pressure got heavy quick, and dude had no choice but to start apologizing. Again and again, trying to calm the storm he accidentally stirred up. First came the apology to Shiesty, awkward, quick, and clearly just to calm things down. Then came a second one, way more real and heartfelt, directed at Kayla B. He admitted he was wildin', acting without thinking, and said straight up that he finally understood the weight behind those 3 little letters he threw around like they didn't mean nothing. He promised he was learning, but by that point the damage was already carved in stone. That line in the sand got drawn even deeper, and you already know NBA YoungBoy, aka Top, wasn't gonna let that kind of talk slide. He jumped on his own live, firing off slick jabs and warning rappers about rage baiting on streams, shots clearly aimed at Shiesty's fiery online behavior since he got out. YoungBoy has never been the type to dodge smoke, so he made it crystal clear he saw everything and wasn't impressed one bit. He wasn't about to stay quiet while someone played reckless with his name, and just like that, the affiliates jumped in too. NLE Choppa, now calling himself NLE the Great, dropped that track KO in October 2025, going at YoungBoy with wild visuals that had the whole internet shook. The music video showed a fake decapitated head. It was over the top, graphic, and way too realistic.
A lot of good habits I picked up in there. Yeah, some I gotta tighten up some more, but you know, for sure, like working out, there's one. Never worked out before, never.
The message, loud and clear. The line between rap entertainment and real-life threats started blurring fast, leaving fans and artists both feeling uneasy. You could almost feel the tension rising through every comment section. Even 21 Savage, one of the few artists both sides actually respect for keeping it real, had to speak up. He talked about how impossible it is for rappers caught in the middle of this mess, how one wrong feature, one shout-out, or even one innocent post can turn into a full-blown war online. The whole culture's watching this unfold like a ticking time bomb, and nobody knows who's gonna set it off next. That's the harsh truth of it, gang. This situation got no middle ground. There's no neutral zone, no Switzerland where you can chill safely. In this kind of beef, you can't play both sides, you can't collab with everybody, and you definitely can't try to stay cool with both camps without catching some kind of heat. Out here, you pick your side, you ride for your side, and you deal with every consequence that comes with that choice. No questions asked. And Shiesty, he made his choice a long time ago. That December live stream was just his way of reminding everyone exactly where his loyalty stands. Now, tomorrow, and forever. No cap. Just a few days after that viral chaos, Shiesty dropped his track FDO, First Day Out, on December 12th, 2025. It was over 5 minutes of pure bars. No hook, no filler. Just straight heat from start to finish. The lyrics were sharp, intense, and full of energy that fans instantly took as subliminal shots at his unnamed rivals. It wasn't just a song, It was a statement. He was telling the world that whatever prison tried to do to break him, it didn't work. Instead of softening him up, it made him tougher, sharper, and ready for war. That energy was raw and defiant, the kind that makes people stop scrolling and pay attention.
But working out, there's one. Reading, I wasn't just too much of a fan of picking up books, but I read all day long. But reading, I got my reading game up in there. Knowing how to like choose between rational and irrational decisions, you know, just decision making and thinking before I act. Working on my temper. It's a lot of knowing how to communicate. I learned how to communicate better.
The message couldn't have been clearer. Pooh Shiesty was back, and he didn't come home to play nice or shake hands. He came to remind everyone that his name still holds weight in the streets. But to really understand why this whole situation hit so deep, why that one live stream carried so much pressure, you gotta rewind the story. We need to trace this beef back to its roots, to where it all began, between two of hip-hop's biggest powerhouses, Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy. This whole thing turned into a full-blown war that's left bodies on the ground, careers in ruins, and has everyone in their circles watching their backs. To really break it down, we gotta start with the man who sits at the center of Shiesty's loyalty, Lil Durk. Durk Derek Banks, known to the world as Lil Durk, was born on October 19, 1992 in Chicago, Illinois. He came up in Inglewood, one of the toughest parts of the South Side, a place where struggle wasn't a story, it was daily life. Poverty, violence, and the constant pull of gang culture were just the background noise of growing up there. When Durk was just 7 months old, his father got hit with a life sentence on drug charges, leaving his mom to hold everything down alone. The streets became his classroom, his gang became his family, and losing people he loved became a painful routine. That's the kind of pain you can hear in every bar he spits. Back in 2010, Durk started OTF, Only the Family. Not just a crew, but a label, a brotherhood built from the ground up. Through OTF, he gave a platform to some of Chicago's rawest drill talent. And one of the hardest to ever come out of that circle was a young wild soul named Davin Daquan Bennett, better known as King Von. Von wasn't just another artist on Durk's label, he was family. Someone Durk would ride for, protect, and push to the top no matter what. Their bond was deep, and everybody in the streets knew it.
I spoke to Durk, but unfortunately it was like under the circumstances that where we couldn't really just talk like that, cause in a minute he'll be able to talk more, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I reached out for him, I hit India up, told her she can ask me whatever she need, you know what I'm saying? Tell brother call me every time, like I'm gonna pick up their phone for sure, whatever it is.
Meanwhile, down south in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, another young legend was on the rise. Kentrell Deshaun Gaulden, better known as NBA YoungBoy. He came straight from the bottom and built his own empire with pure grind. His raw emotion, non-stop work ethic, and unapologetic energy made him one of the most powerful voices of his generation. While most rappers drop once every few years, YoungBoy was dropping projects back to back, feeding his fans non-stop. His team, Never Broke Again, wasn't just a name. It was a lifestyle, a mission, and a movement that refused to fold under any pressure. NBA YoungBoy's movement commanded loyalty on another level. Fans, affiliates, and street soldiers from all over the world rode for him like family. But the first real tension between his camp and Lil Durk's, looking back, it actually started over something small. It kicked off when King Von started dating YoungBoy's ex, Johnny Ameshel, and that little spark lit a whole fuse. The two camps started going at it on Instagram. Subliminals, shady captions, and pictures that were clearly meant to get under each other's skin. Von even went live and talked reckless about some of YoungBoy's music, and of course, the internet ran wild with it. At first, it felt like just another rap rivalry. Petty shots, viral headlines, and online noise that probably would have died out after a while. But then came November 6th, 2020, the night that flipped everything upside down. That night, King Von was at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta when things got heated with Quando Rondo, an artist signed under YoungBoy's NBA label. Security footage caught what started as a fight quickly spiraling out of control. Punches, chaos, then gunfire. In seconds, 6 people were shot and 2 lost their lives, including King Von, just 26 years old.
So a couple words of wisdom from somebody that been in it, you know what I'm saying, and know it firsthand. That ain't what's up in there, bro. All the image and the facades and the faking and the street notoriety that is not worth it. Ain't nothing worth leaving this and going in there. And ain't nothing worth not leaving that in there, coming back out here, you know what I'm saying? So just stay focused, man. Get this money and keep working and take care of this opportunity that we got to provide for all our people.
Reports named Timothy Lul Tim Leaks from Rondo's crew as the one who fired the fatal shots. He was arrested, bonded out in 2021, and the case eventually got dropped in 2023. But by then, the damage was done. The whole hip-hop world was stunned. One of the most talented storytellers in drill music was gone, and the pain hit deep across the culture. Von's death wasn't just another loss. It turned what started as petty IG drama into a full-blown war. The situation went from internet tension to real-life bloodshed in one night. And when YoungBoy refused to distance himself from the chaos, still riding for Quando Rondo, signing him tighter to his label and defending him publicly, it was seen as a straight-up violation. To Durk, to OTF, and to everyone who loved Von, that move wasn't just disrespect, it was personal. That was the moment the line between the two sides became permanent, and there was no going back after that. This wasn't about music anymore. Nah, this was way deeper, gang. This was about blood, loyalty, honor, and making sure that every move had a response that couldn't be ignored. Once King Von was gone, it wasn't just rap beef. It became personal, and both sides were out to prove they wouldn't back down for nothing. Right after the tragedy, the diss tracks started dropping like bombs. Quando Rondo came first with End of Story in November 2020, claiming self-defense and refusing to apologize for a thing. That track hit like a middle finger to everyone still mourning Von. It made the tension explode. Then NBA YoungBoy turned up the heat even more. In January 2022, he released Bring the Hook, with bars that fans instantly recognized as aimed at Von and his people. This, that Squid Game, O-Block Pack, get rolled up. That one line referring to Von's hood was taken as a cold taunt about his death. It crossed a line that couldn't ever be uncrossed. Lil Durk didn't stay silent. The very next month, he dropped "Aha," throwing shots right back at YoungBoy.
One word to describe me is unstoppable. Of course, because I can't be stopped, you know what I'm saying? CBLW type, you know what's going on. So, like, that's a big word for me, you know? Because it's like, it got 2 words in it. If you pay attention, like, it's unstopped and able.
Calling out his legal troubles and personal life. You could feel the fire in every lyric. It wasn't just rap, it was revenge wrapped in a beat. But YoungBoy wasn't done either. He clapped back with I Hate YoungBoy, a full-blown diss track that went at everybody. Durk, his family, Von's memory, and the entire OTF movement. It was disrespect on all levels. Durk even rented a billboard in YoungBoy's own hometown of Baton Rouge just to send a message straight to his face. The beef had officially left the internet. It was in the streets now. But beneath all that public chaos, something darker was brewing. On August 20th, 2022, Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pob Robinson, was shot and killed at a gas station in West Hollywood. At first, it seemed like just another tragic moment in a violent industry. But then the story took a wild twist. Federal prosecutors later claimed it wasn't random. They alleged it was a murder-for-hire plot, and that Lil Durk himself had orchestrated the hit using OTF money to put a bag on Quando Rondo's head. Whether true or not, those allegations set the internet on fire, turning whispers into full-blown conspiracy talk and making this feud feel less like rap beef and more like a street war with no limits. The hit didn't go as planned. It went completely sideways. Instead of the intended target, Quando Rondo's cousin was the one who got caught in the crossfire. Not long after, on October 24th, 2024, Lil Durk was arrested in Florida on federal murder-for-hire charges. And it didn't stop there. 5 other OTF members got indicted right along with him. Prosecutors painted a wild picture of OTF, not as a record label, not even as just a tight-knit crew, but as a criminal organization capable of putting hits out across state lines. They claimed Durk tried to flee the country once he found out the charges were on the way and that the evidence against him was heavy. According to prosecutors, the proof was all there. Private jets, automatic weapons, and a coordinated hit that showed serious planning, money, and logistics stretched across multiple states. This wasn't just random street chaos anymore. This was organized crime dressed up as the music industry. The feds came hard, saying OTF was running like a full-blown enterprise, business on the surface, but blood in the background. Durk's bail? Denied again and again throughout 2025. The trial, originally set for January 2025, kept getting delayed because the case was so massive and tangled in evidence, witnesses, and sealed files. Then came a superseding indictment, stacking on even more charges, allegations of witness tampering, and even threats made toward a judge and prosecutor. The whole thing turned into one of the biggest legal nightmares hip-hop's ever seen, with Durk facing the possibility of life behind bars. And that right there, that's who Pooh has stood behind, loyal through every headline, every charge, every accusation. His loyalty isn't just about music, it's about code, about standing on principle no matter how dark things get. So when people drop 4KT in his chat and act like it's just trolling, they clearly don't get it. Those 3 letters carry weight. In a world where every symbol and every word can spark real consequences, there's no such thing as harmless talk. That phrase, those 3 little letters, it's not just internet talk. It's a provocation packed with years of bloodshed, federal indictments, and non-stop violence that's only gotten worse with time. That's exactly why when Shiesty brushed off YoungBoy's whole movement like it was nothing, it didn't come across as simple disrespect. It was a declaration, a clear message about which side he's standing on in a war that's already taken lives and could easily claim more before it's over. And that's also why all those new rumors about alleged footage showing attempted hits, even if unverified, sound believable to so many people watching this story unfold in real time. The tension between these camps runs so deep that nothing seems impossible anymore. Now that we've broken down that live stream moment and the long, messy history leading up to it, it's time to look at the man caught right in the middle of all this smoke, Pooh himself. Born Lontrell Donald Williams Jr. on November 8, 1999 in Memphis, Tennessee, Shiesty's story mirrors parts of both Lil Durk's and YoungBoy's journeys. He came up in South Memphis, around the Cane Creek Apartments, one of the city's toughest and most active neighborhoods, a place where hip-hop dreams and street realities live side by side every single day. His pops, a respected figure in the scene, founded Mob Ties Records and rapped under the name Mob Boss. So music was literally in Shiesty's DNA from the start. But instead of chasing the family hustle right away, he spent his teenage years grinding through the streets, learning survival the hard way. The struggle, the neighborhood politics, the daily fight to stay alive. That's what built him. That's what gave his music that raw energy people can feel. When he finally picked up the mic around age 18, everything just clicked. His sound, 100% authentic Memphis, gritty, bold, and impossible to fake. Every line came from experience, every verse hit like real life on wax. That's why when Shiesty speaks, the streets listen, because they know he's not rapping stories he heard. He's rapping what he lived. By 2020, the entire rap world had its eyes locked on Pooh Shiesty. Viral tracks like Monday to Sunday were making noise everywhere, and even caught the attention of Gucci Mane, who quickly signed him to 1017 Records. That move officially stamped Shiesty as one of the hottest new names in the game. When his debut mixtape, Shiesty Season, dropped in 2021, it exploded, peaking at number 3 on the Billboard 200. That blurred-out ad-lib he made famous became his trademark. Instantly recognizable, like a sonic signature announcing, "Yeah, I'm here!" Then came the collab that shook the streets, Back in Blood with Lil Durk. That record went 8 times platinum, proving Shiesty wasn't just hot, he was unstoppable. It didn't just boost his career, it also solidified his tight connection with OTF, making it clear where his loyalty stood. But with success came serious complications. On October 9th, 2020, in Bay Harbor Island, near Miami, things took a dark turn. Prosecutors said Shiesty and his crew arranged a meetup at the Landon Hotel to buy sneakers and weed, but the deal went sideways fast. They claimed his people tried to rob the sellers at gunpoint, shots rang out, and 2 people got hit. After the chaos, Shiesty reportedly sped off in a rented McLaren, but crashed it close by. And that's where it all fell apart. Police found a Louis Vuitton bag stuffed with $40,000 in cash, the same exact bills Shiesty had been flexing on Instagram earlier that day. That link sealed the case tighter than anyone expected. Then came another hit to his record. In June 2021 at King of Diamonds strip club in Miami, he allegedly fired a shot that struck a security guard during an altercation. By January 2022, the feds had enough. They hit him with federal firearms conspiracy charges. Shiesty pleaded guilty, and the sentence came down hard. 63 months or 5 years and 3 months in federal prison. For most artists, a stretch like that means the end of everything. Career gone, fame forgotten, momentum lost. But for Pooh Shiesty, that time away didn't kill his name. It only made his legend grow louder. The music game moves fast. Too fast sometimes. Fans shift, trends change, and new stars rise up to fill the space left behind when somebody disappears. But Pooh Shiesty had something most artists never get, a real one like Lil Durk in his corner. Durk kept Shiesty's name alive the whole time he was gone, shouting "Free Pooh Shiesty" every chance he got. He refused to let the world forget the Memphis rapper who had shaken the streets before his fall. Then came the day the wait was over, October 7th, 2025. After serving time and earning credit for good behavior in pretrial time, Shiesty finally walked out those prison gates. But he didn't come home broken or bitter. He came out sharper, tougher, and laser-focused. The world that once moved past him was now waiting for his next move. The moment he stepped back into the spotlight, millions of fans who'd been holding it down for years celebrated like it was a national holiday. And when Shiesty sat down for his first big interview after his release, he didn't waste a single word. He opened up about the transformation he went through behind those walls, how he used that time to rebuild from the inside out. He talked about the habits he developed, hitting the workouts hard, keeping his mind sharp, reading, and learning how to think before reacting. But the part that hit the hardest, when he spoke about his bond with Lil Durk, even while locked away, the two kept in touch, writing letters, exchanging messages, keeping their loyalty alive. He said those conversations kept his spirit up, reminded him who he was, and made their connection even stronger. Prison didn't break that brotherhood, it forged it. So when Shiesty came home, it wasn't just a rapper returning to music, it was a soldier stepping back into a war with renewed purpose and unshakable loyalty. That loyalty, it's real, gang. That commitment, 100% genuine. And that's exactly what makes Shiesty's current situation so dangerous. Because here's the truth. Everybody watching knows what's really going on, even if only a few are bold enough to say it out loud. Shiesty's out here dropping aggressive music, dismissing 4KT, and standing firm beside someone facing federal murder charges, all while he's still on supervised release with an ankle monitor strapped on. That device might limit where he can go, but it can't limit the energy he brings every time he steps into the spotlight. Still, the reality is, he's walking on thin ice. All it takes is one wrong move, one questionable link-up, or even one post prosecutors can twist against him, and it's over. One slip, one violation of his release terms, and Shiesty could find himself right back where he fought so hard to escape, behind those same prison walls. Now let's circle back to what started all this noise. The viral footage rumors that got everyone talking in the first place. To keep it 100, here's what the actual research and reports say. There's no verified footage anywhere showing Shiesty's people trying to slide on NBA YoungBoy or anyone tied to him. What does exist, though, is a flood of speculation, clickbait headlines, and wild YouTube breakdowns feeding off the tension between their camps. Ever since Shiesty touched down, talk around this beef has gone into overdrive. Some of these so-called reports mention alleged videos or screenshots showing heated confrontations or threats. But when you dig deeper, no real clips ever show up. It's mostly street whispers, social media rumors, and unverified claims that keep fueling the fire. But here's the thing, those rumors sound believable because of everything surrounding them. The history, the tension, the loyalty, the danger, all of it makes people believe that anything's possible in this war. And that's exactly why Shiesty's every move now feels like it's carrying the weight of the whole culture watching, waiting to see what happens next. The violence tied to this beef, it's way too real, gang. This isn't internet drama or rap marketing, this is street-level danger that spilled far past the music. Even Trap Lore Ross, one of the most respected documentarians breaking down this whole saga, exposed just how deep the situation really goes. According to what prosecutors are pushing, there are 6 more alleged hits they're trying to link directly back to Lil Durk's camp. The paperwork even hints at something wilder, a confidential informant, supposedly someone from inside OTF's inner circle who's been cooperating with the feds. If that's true, then trust has completely collapsed behind the scenes, and everything's way messier than people realize. Even 21 Savage tried to step in at one point. He admitted that his attempts to mediate between YoungBoy and Durk went nowhere because there's just too much blood spilled, too many losses, too many families hurt. His words made it clear, there's no peace left to be made. Once the streets reach that level, no conversation can fix it. And yet, despite all of it, the indictments, the rumors, the lives lost, and the endless get-back cycle that keeps pulling everyone deeper, Shiesty said something near the end of his interview that hit different. He admitted that deep down, He knows this path doesn't lead anywhere good. He might move like a soldier, but in his mind, he's seen enough to understand that every shot fired just circles back eventually. It was one of those rare moments where the mask slipped, a glimpse of a man who's lived too much pain, seen too much loss, and finally realized that this game of revenge don't ever really end. It just keeps taking more than it gives. Real talk, gang. Those were some wise words from Shiesty, the kind that only come from somebody who spent years behind federal walls, forced to sit still and really think about what matters most in life. You could hear the reflection in his voice, the lessons learned the hard way. But the question everybody's asking now is, do those words match his actions? Because on one hand, Shiesty's speaking like a man who's grown and seen enough pain to want peace. But on the other, he's still out here dismissing fork, dropping aggressive new music, and standing loud and proud beside someone facing life in prison for allegedly ordering hits on his enemies. That's the contradiction everyone sees, the balance between the image and the message. This whole situation perfectly shows how rap beefs can twist real-life danger into entertainment. Loyalty pulls artists into choosing sides, while social media throws gasoline on the fire, turning every post, every lyric, every look into potential drama. And when those street ties come into play, the stakes skyrocket way past Billboard charts or streaming stats. We're talking about reputations, freedom, and lives on the line. As for that so-called footage everyone's buzzing about, it might exist, or it might just be smoke. So far, there's no verified evidence, no official confirmation, nothing solid. Most of what's floating online looks like pure clickbait, built to rack up views, not to tell the truth. Still, the way this story keeps unfolding, fast, loud, and messy, proves just how dangerous it gets when the internet, the music, and the streets all collide in one explosive storm. But the danger, the tension, the very real chance that this whole conflict could blow up even further. It's not just talk, gang. We're talking more lives at risk, more careers on the line, and more jail cells filling up. That's not speculation, that's not clickbait. That's the world these artists wake up to every single day. And as Pooh once described himself in one word, unstoppable. But in a game where the feds are constantly building RICO cases against rap crews, where affiliates keep getting hit in targeted shootings, and where just showing up in the wrong city could be a death sentence. Being unstoppable ain't about bragging. It's a prayer. It's survival in a world where fame and danger walk hand in hand, and one misstep can change everything. The streets, the music, the headlines, it's all connected, and every move adds a new layer to this ongoing storm. So stay tuned, stay alert, and stay safe, because trust me, this story, it's far from over. The next chapter is already being written out there in real time, and when it drops, it's gonna shake the culture all over again. Thanks for watching, gang. If you're locked into the drama, the breakdowns, and the truth behind the headlines, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think. Your voice keeps this conversation alive.